Hello everyone. So it's day 25 and today I have a March 28 Indian Express newspaper. Again, the very important, most important page of this newspaper, that is Indian Express explained page. So there are two important articles over this page. One is about the India-Pakistan, the resuming of the India-Pakistan trade, whether it will happen or not. And another is state of employment in India. So we'll try to read both of these articles if time permits. Otherwise, there will be one important article, which is the India Pakistan question of trade. So let us see what this article is about to say. So, why has Pakistan's new foreign minister spoken of a possibility of resuming trade with India? What is the history of trade between the two countries, and what will it take to resume the commerce? So, let us see that the data has been given from 2003 to 2018-19. So, all of these years, the trade balance was in the favor of India, and it was increasing, not constantly, but yeah, some year it increased, some year it decreased, but it was overall in the trade surplus region. So it was benefiting India in the term of a forex reserve. So let us see what this article is going to say on March 23. So one trend we should notice that it was neither constantly increasing the trade of balance of trade, neither it was constantly decreasing. Same goes with the export from India. Same goes with the import to India and total trade. So it was neither constantly increasing nor constantly decreasing in the last 2 decades. So let us see. On March 23, Pakistan's foreign minister Muhammad Iqbal Ishaq Dar said his country may seriously examine the question of resuming trade with India. Pakistan stopped trade after the constitutional changes in Jammu and Kashmir in 2019, like other aspects of the India Pakistan relationship. Trade too has been impacted by Islamabad's hard line on Kashmir and its support for terrorism. The dire state of Pakistan's economy, however, has raised hopes for a change in Pakistan's approach, but New Delhi will keep its finger crossed. So this article is written by C. Raja Mohan. So, what explains the timing of Pakistani's Minister Dar's comment? So, over the years, Dar has headed several economic ministries, and he served as finance minister in the previous Shehbaz Sharif government, which was from 2022 to 2023. He has closely watched the deepening of Pakistan's economic crisis, and he was involved in the country's negotiations for the financial assistance from the International Monetary Fund. A second factor is pressure from the business community. One of the conditions imposed by the IMF was the raising of energy prices, but this hurt production within the Pakistan. Imports have came down because of the low price of the Pakistani rupee. Dar mentioned that trade between India and Pakistan is already taking place through Dubai or other countries. This raises cost, and a logic of efficiency and geography demands a resumption of the direct trade. Meanwhile, Pakistan's relative power position vis-a-vis India has declined. Its GDP is now 10 times smaller than India's. This will continue to widen amid Pakistan's low growth rates. Pakistan's relationship with Afghanistan and Iran have become tense. In fact, Pakistan's ties with India are more stable than its western front with the Afghanistan and Iran. Okay. So, how seriously should Dar's comment be taken? So, the comment by the Pakistani minister show the growing imperative of improving economic ties with India, but there is no consensus in Pakistan on this issue. On 2021, in 2021, Pakistan allowed trade in sugar and cotton but reversed its decision a day, an episode that spotlights the complexity of engaging with India and Pakistan. So, back channel negotiations between Indian security establishment and the Pakistani army at the time led to a renewal of the 2003 ceasefire along the line of control. There was also proposal to initiate confidence building measures. The resumption of trade in sugar and cotton was considered sensible since Pakistan needed them and India was in a position to supply. Then Prime Minister Imran Khan, who was also Commerce Minister, supported the proposal but flipped when it went before the cabinet after he faced opposition from the hardliners. So this happened then Pakistan even though then Pakistan Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa seemed interested in relaxing the tensions. So, what are the challenges into normalization of India-Pakistan trade? The leader of the new coalition government, President Asif Ali Zardari of the Pakistan's People Party, and Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif of the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz have traditionally favored trade with India. But Given that PPP chairman Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, who was foreign minister in 2022-23, has taken a hard line against India in public statements over the last few years. It is not clear if his party will support trading with India. Then there is a Pakistan army. When Dar talked about consulting stakeholders on trade, he was referring to the military. Army Chief General Syed Asim Munir has not said very much about India so far, so it is not known where he stands. Further, Pakistan has put preconditions on talks with India, demanding the reversal of the decision on Article 370, which will not happen. The question is, how does Pakistan climb down from high horse without losing face? India too would not want to trade with India too would not want to trade without major steps from Pakistan on curbing terrorism. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has frequently said trade and terrorism cannot go together. So in 1990s, Pakistan was on the offensive in demanding Indian concession on Kashmir. Things were out of control in Kashmir then, and India was under pressure to yield. Today, India's position is stronger, and their current government is not going to make any concessions. The ball then is in Pakistan's court, and there is no domestic consensus on how to reset ties with India. This is the problem. Trade with India makes economic sense for Pakistan, but the politics of doing the right thing, things are quite hard in Pakistan. So, what is the broad history of India Pakistan trade? After the wars of 1965 and 1971, trade links were largely cut off. The borders were shut and became heavily militarized, which is a part of the reason trade volumes between the two countries never grew significantly. Much of the real trade took place via other countries. Agreements such as SARC Preferential Trade Agreement were signed, but Pakistan was not interested in trade with India. It demanded that India must resolve the Kashmir issue before the normalization of economic ties. In the 2010s, the Manmohan Singh led government tried very hard to improve trade ties. The World Bank was helping negotiate a petroleum agreement that would allow Pakistan to buy fuel across the border from the Jalandhar refinery. There were also talks about trading in electricity. However, the Pakistan army pulled the plug every time. During the South Asian, which is South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation Summit of 2020 or 2014, members countries agreed to open borders to facilitate the movement of trucks and trains, but the Pakistan army stepped in again to block the agreement. Meanwhile, India's position on Kashmir has strengthened. The abolition of Article 370 shocked Pakistan. Its effort to get China to do something about it in the UN Security Council did not work. Pakistan's best friends in the Gulf region, Saudi Arabia and the UAE, have not criticized India and have maintained close ties with the New Delhi. Pakistan recognizes that it has put itself in a tight corner. The logic of the economy demands that it changes its hard line, but domestic political inertia makes it difficult for Pakistan to do so. So, how soon India and Pakistan move towards better economic ties? With Lok Sabha elections set to begin in less than a month, it is not likely anything major. It is not likely anything major will happen immediately between the New Delhi and Islamabad. All successful India Pakistan negotiations have taken place in private, and the next 3 months offer room for quiet diplomacy by the two sides. One immediate step could be of Pakistan to say it will send its High Commissioner back. The UAE, in particular, has been encouraging Pakistan to talk to India. Reports have suggested that the UAE played a major role in getting the two countries together in 2021. Who benefits from a resumption of bilateral trade? For Pakistan, it makes sense to reboot its economy in partnership with India. Under the Manmohan Singh government, there was an attempt at serious negotiations to sort out trade related issues. Members of the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry traveled to Pakistan in 2012 to negotiate mutually beneficial terms of trade. The Zardari government has announced its intent to give India the most favored nation status to India under the WTO rules, meaning it would not discriminate against New Delhi as a trade partner, but the Pakistan army applies the brakes. In India, traders in Punjab have been reported as saying they want to trade with Pakistan. Lowering the tensions with Pakistan will surely be beneficial for India too, but Pakistan does not appear ready to break with past policies. When it does, when it does, when it does, India should be ready to reciprocate. So that was the article by C. Raja Mohan, in which he is saying that if ever Pakistan try to reinitiate the trade, India should be ready to reciprocate. So, okay, fine. So let us see the another article, which was about state of employment in India. So, what a new report says about youth uh, and women concerns and caution. So, let us see what this article is about to say. So, status of employment, it is being given here. So, from 2000 to 2022, so youth were and adult. So 50% were self-employed, 13% were regular, 37% were casual. So in 2022, 47% self-employed, 25% casual. So the number of casual amount of casual, the percentage of casual people have decreased. Okay, so let us see. There have been paradoxical improvement in the labor market indicators such as the labor force participation rate, workforce participation rate, and unemployment rate in India in recent years after long-term deterioration from 2000 to 2019. The improvement has coincided with periods of economic distress both before and during the COVID 19 pandemic, says the India Employment Report 2024 released by the Institute of Human Development and International Labour Organization on Tuesday. The big picture. The report has flagged concerns about poor employment conditions. The slow transition to non-farm employment has reversed. Women largely account for the increase in self-employment and unpaid family work. Youth employment is of poorer quality than employment for adults. Wages and earnings are stagnant or declining. The employment condition index has improved between 2004-5 and 2021 to 22, but some states, Bihar, Odisha, Jharkhand, and UP, have remained at the bottom throughout this period. With some others, Delhi, Himachal Pradesh, Telangana, Uttarakhand, and Gujarat have stayed at the top. The index is based on seven labor market outcome indicators, that is, percentage of workers employed in regular formal work, percentage of casual laborers, and a percentage of self employment workers below the poverty line. So, work participation rate, average monthly earning of casual laborers, unemployment rate of secondary and above educated youth, youth not in employment and education training. So, employment quality. What is employment quality? Informal employment has risen. Around half of the jobs in the formal sectors are of an informal nature. Self employment and unpaid family work has also increased, especially for women. Almost 82% of the workforce is engaged in the informal sector, and the nearly 90% is informally employed, the report said. Self employment remains the primary source of employment. So, 55.8% in 2022. Casual and regular employment accounted for 22.7% and 21.5% respectively. So the share of self employment remained almost stable, around 52% between 2000 and 2019, while regular employment increased by almost 10 percentage point to 23.8% from 14.2%. This reversed by 2022 with the self-employment increasing to 55.8%, while the share of regular employment declined to 21.5% and casual employment consistently declined to 22.7%. So okay, the share of casual employment has consistently declined. Okay, so that is important to note, but regular employment has sometime increased, sometime decreased. So this is important to know. So participation of women, what it says that the female labor force participation in India remains among the world's lowest. Female labor force participation rate declined by 14.4 percentage points compared to 8.1 percentage points for males. Between 2000 and 2019, the trend reversed thereafter, with female labor force participation rate rising by 8.3 percentage points compared to 1.7 percentage points for male between 2019 to 2012, 2022. So, what are the structural transformation? There has been a reversal of the slow transition towards non-farm employment after 2018 and 2019. The share of agriculture in total employment fell to around 42% in 2019 from 60% in 2000, which is a good thing, but the reduction is very slow. That needs to be improved. This shift was largely absorbed by construction and services, the share of which is total employment increased to 32% in 2019 and 23% in 2000. The share of manufacturing in employment has remained almost stagnant at 12 to 14%. Since 2018 19, this slow transition has stagnated or reversed with the rise in the share of agricultural employment. So what about youth employment? So there has been a rise in the youth employment, but the quality of work remains a concern, especially for qualified young workers. Youth employment and underemployment is increased between 2000 and 2019, but declined during the pandemic years. However, unemployment among youths, especially those with secondary level or higher education, has intensified over time. In 2022, the share of unemployment youths in the total unemployment population was 82.9%. The share of educated youths among all unemployed people also increased to 65.7% in 2022 from 54.2% in 2000. So the unemployment rate among youths was 6 times greater for those who had completed the secondary education or higher, 18.4%, and 9 times higher for graduates, 29.1%, than for persons who could not read or write. So what are the way forward? Let us see. There are five key policies areas for further action: promoting job creation, improving employment quality, addressing labor market inequalities, strengthening skills and active labor market policies, and bridging the knowledge deficits on labor market patterns and youth employment. The rise of artificial intelligence could have an impact on unemployment. On employment, the report said, noting that the outsourcing industry in India could be disrupted because some back office tasks would be taken over by the artificial intelligence. So, investment and regulations are required in the emerging care and digital economies, which could be an important source of productive employment. The lack of job security, irregular wages, and uncertain employment status for workers pose significant challenges for gig or platform work. So, economic policies are required to boost productive non-farm employment, especially in the manufacturing sector, with India likely to add 7 to 8 million youths annually to the labor force during the next decade. More support needs to be provided to micro, small, and medium sized enterprises, especially by providing tools such as digitalization and artificial intelligence and a cluster based approach to manufacturing. So, this was about the status of employment in India. So, we'll see what important article come on to tomorrow newspaper. So, till then, we'll see March 29 newspaper tomorrow. Till then.